Welcome to the Bite-Sized Storytelling Show, brought to you by Commaful.com, where we bring you techniques, advice, and stories that will help you on your writing journey. Without further ado, please give a warm welcome to our special guest.
Hey Commaful, my name is Michael Ronn. I'm the author of over 50 books of science fiction and fantasy and self-help books for writers, and I'm also the outreach manager at a nonprofit organization for writers called the Alliance of Independent Authors. And in this video, I wanted to talk about 3 things that no one ever told me about writing my first book. So if you are an aspiring writer and you're writing your first book and you're kind of wondering, what the heck did I get myself into? I hope that this video will be helpful for you, because the process of writing is a journey, and it is a journey that no one can really truly prepare you for. It's a journey of self-exploration. It's a journey of learning new things. And so I really wish somebody would have sat me down and told me these 3 things that I wish I would have known when I was writing my first book. The first thing is that writing a book is an emotional roller coaster. So when you start your first book, you are going to be so excited because you're finally doing something that you've wanted to do for a long time, and it feels really, really good. And then you're going to sit down and you're going to write, and you're going to write, and then at some point, usually around the 20% mark of the book, maybe a little bit sooner, you're going to question everything. You're going to say to yourself, why am I doing this? This is the worst thing I've ever written. No one is ever going to want to buy this. And it's going to feel terrible. But what first-time writers don't realize is that that is totally normal. It's what I like to call the honeymoon phase. You start and everything's great, and then you realize, okay, that this is going to require more work. And just know that the process of writing a book is an emotional roller coaster, and everyone's first book is that way. But once you finish your first book, you'll be able to see it, and you'll be able to know, okay, that when you start your second book, you're going to go through the emotional roller coaster again. And when you know what the roller coaster is, then it makes it a lot easier to get through it. So try not to let anxiety and fear and uncertainty stop you, because it's all part of the process, as hard as it feels during the time. The second thing I wanted to talk about that no one told me about being a writer, especially now when self-publishing is so prominent. When I first started publishing, it was kind of a stigma to self-publish a book. It was like, you're self-publishing a book? Why? And people would laugh you out of the room. And it was true. You know, it just wasn't an option that people did unless you were, just didn't know what you were doing. Now you can self-publish a book and have a career. And what no one told me about that was that you have to be an expert at so many things. You have to wear so many different hats. It's not just about the writing. It's also, you have to learn how to market your book. You have to learn the ins and outs of social media, although if you know social media, you're probably fine. You have to learn how to run a business, which is really scary, especially when you're young, because it's like, that sounds like a very adulty thing to do, but you learn it slowly over time. And there's just so many different things that you have to learn if you want to be an author. Being an author is just one little part of the job description, and nobody told me that. So I learned that the hard way, and found out all the things that I had to do in order to sell books and reach readers and be able to get in front of you all on this video. And so the third thing that no one ever told me is just how lonely the craft of writing could be. I mean, if you think about it, you're sitting down in a chair for hours at a time, and you're making stuff up. And it's not like you can make stuff up with your friends. You can't write stories with your friends. I guess you could, but if you're going to write a book, it's usually a solitary effort. And so it can be a very lonely thing. And especially when you go back to the first tip that I gave, where it's an emotional roller coaster, it can feel like the whole world is against you at times. And just know that you're really not alone. There are a lot of writing communities out there where writers are in the same boat as you. Find those communities and connect with other writers, because making friends, I think, is one of the most important parts of this job. I consider it a job. I consider it a career to be a writer. It's a career option. You have to work really hard at it, but it is something that you can do. And don't do it alone. And I would love, if all of you were interested, to check out the Alliance of Independent Authors, because it is a community of self-published writers who are trying to make it, trying to publish their books and do really great things out there and get their stories in front of readers. And we have a blog that gives free writing advice for indie authors. Every week, every day, there's something going out. We have podcasts. And so I would welcome you to join our community and see what publishing a book is all about. And even if you're an aspiring writer, we have tons of content available for you, and you can see what's available out there in this brand new world of self-publishing. And maybe the resources will be of help to you on your writing journey. So you can check us out at selfpublishingadvice.org. That's selfpublishingadvice.org, and feel free to reach out if you have any questions at all. So thank you, Commaful, for watching this video. Best of luck and happy writing.
If you found this interesting, be sure to like, subscribe, and give a special thanks to our volunteer instructor. Reviews and likes really go a long way and help us provide more awesome writing resources to the Commaful community. If you aren't on Commaful yet, you can join a community of poets, short story authors, and fan fiction writers on Commaful.com.